guys. Sorry I'm using my webcam. I'm having some issues with my other camera, and the footage was so grainy that I have to film again using my webcam. So, my apologies. Um, but we are coming up on a year on my channel, and the year is about to close out. So, I wanted to do a bit of a this year in review with you and just talk to you about how the channel has been this year, what it's brought to my life, why I started it, and what you should do if this is something that you're interested in. Because I really believe that the more voices that we have, it's not competition to me. I don't think it is to anybody in our realm. It's just we need to build a community. So every voice is valuable, and I really want to encourage people that if you feel suffocated or socially alienated because of your political perception, that this is something that is available to you. You can have an outlet. And I want to encourage you to do that irrespective of the personal consequences, which I will talk to you about a little bit as well. So I know that some of you have heard this story. I'm really sorry, but I will tell it again because this is how my channel got started. But about a year ago, a little bit more than a year ago, right in the onset of the Syrian refugee crisis, I took a trip to Europe. And there were just Muslims everywhere, just in every country. I couldn't believe how much the demographics had changed from when I had been there like 5 or 7 years earlier. It was totally shocking to me. And so I was in Austria at a train station, and I am just surrounded by Muslim men that are leering at me. They're throwing stuff. They want me to get up and move. I'm in Western garb. I'm traveling alone, and I am like, absolutely not. I am not moving anywhere. So I started taking pictures of this one guy that was being especially heinous to me. But if you look into his eyes, like this guy wants me dead. So right after this happened, I was sitting cross-legged, and an Austrian man that worked at the train station came clear across the station to come and talk to me because I was sitting cross-legged. And I guess he was worried about like the quarter inch of my shoe that was touching the seat. So he's like, you can't sit like that. And then I like looked to my right and I looked to my left, and I'm surrounded by Muslim men that are treating me like garbage. And on the ground there are just piles of junk food trash, like cans and wrappers and all sorts of stuff. And the seat that I'm sitting on is sticky. And that moment, even though this seems like it's really innocuous, at that moment I realized that a lot of these European people, they have no fealty to people that are like them. They don't believe that their cultures are superior and that the rules are going to apply that exist in their countries to white people and Westerners, but it's not going to apply to Muslims. And I just could not stop thinking about this on the rest of my trip. I'm like, these countries, if they don't have the will to fight, they are screwed, every last one of them. And it made me feel just panic. I mean, I remember being at the Louvre and thinking, what if Muslims got to the Louvre? The loss would be immeasurable to humanity. And just the reality, the depth of the reality that we were going to lose Western Europe to retrograde Islam. It just made my soul hurt. I couldn't believe it. So when I got back to the States, I was like, I felt like I finally understood how all of these things were connected: feminism, cultural Marxism, Islam, the left. The mainstream media. I just felt like it was cohesive enough in my mind that I could start talking about it to other people. So I started my channel, and I did one video. I didn't really expect it to pick up, and then a few thousand subs rolled in, and then I did the Gavin McInnes show, and a few thousand more rolled in, and now I'm at about 20,000. And I'm so happy with that for my first year. I really am, but I didn't expect this. Nonetheless, I'm super grateful for it, but it's given me this opportunity to talk about these things. I feel a little bit freer, and we're able to form these communities now as well. So when I started my channel, I was working on some pretty high profile cases, and I was immediately concerned that I was going to get fired because I was working for a feminist, and if she found out anything about my videos, she would have definitely found some way to fire me. And so I was like, I need to keep this secret for as long as possible. And then one day I realized that I just could not control the inevitability that they were going to find out about this. So I spectacularly quit my job one day. I knew that my channel had basically precluded any employment opportunities in the field that I was in. And so I just decided to just go gung ho. Let's just do this, you know. So I quit my job. I started focusing on the channel. And sure enough, when I got doxxed by the Riverfront Times, about a week after that, some people that I assume were probably from the Riverfront Times were tweeting at my old employer about how they had hired a racist and everything like that. And if that had happened when I was working there, I would have come in the next day and they would have told me that I was fired for that. Um, so in many ways, quitting was freeing, but also I had to take on the personal responsibility of being my own boss and financially supporting myself. And knowing that because of the things that I've said on my channel, that there really is no going back to any kind of corporate environment. I just really don't think that that's a possibility. So I knew that this would detonate my professional life. I was kind of okay with that. I was more worried about my personal relationships. Um, so I didn't tell my family about my channel for a few months, except for my brother. My parents came to discover it later and have since been incredibly supportive. I haven't lost really any friends or family because of my channel. I kind of shook all those idiots loose before I started. But I do know a lot of people that started their channels and it broke up their friendships, it broke up their families. They lost their livelihood. I mean, there's a lot at risk for just saying what you think. And that's how you know that it's important. I mean, and so I think it's incredibly important for us to get more people into this movement because that way we can build a community. And that's really what we're lacking as a generation. We don't have a strong sense of community. We don't have a strong sense of country. We don't have a strong sense of self. And so as a result, we're kind of this listless, unfulfilled generation, and we're indulgent and hedonistic and thoughtless. And I think that we can change that now. I think that Trump has allowed us to gain enough popular support that we can really start forming our own communities here. And that's what we need. We need communities. We need like-minded people around us that will support our value systems. Otherwise, we'll just perish spiritually. And that, I think, the channel and dealing with everything that's happened this year because of the channel, that's really what's made me keep going. Just knowing that the loss here, the potential for loss, cultural loss, personal loss is tremendous. And we're nihilistic. And so I just don't think that many people really care. And so the ones that do, we have to find each other. I mean, we just have to. So yeah, I just wanted to come here and talk about my experience with my channel in the first year, and let you know that if you have political opinions that you feel like you need to voice, or you have a blog, you've got a channel, something like that, and you think that you're saying something really important, please link it for me below, and I will do my best to review them to promote them on my channel. But that's how I got my start. So if you're starting a channel, the first thing that I did was send my first video to Karen Strown and Gavin McInnes. I sent it to some other people. But even though these are pretty big names, almost all of them got back to me. They watched my video and then they wrote thoughtful responses. And so the bigger YouTubers, which I'm not, I still have a very small channel, but people with established channels, they're always looking for smaller YouTubers to bring into the fold because it's not competition. We do need to build this community. And so I would love to do that and to help small channels in any way possible, channels that are smaller than mine. So go ahead and give me some feedback in the comment section and I will do my best to look through those and promote them where I can. So I just want to thank you for all of your emotional and financial support this year. It hasn't been an easy year, but by talking to people that I have aligned values with, and by being donation based, I've been able to shake off this corporate environment and kind of what that had done to my soul and start anew with something that's meaningful to me. And I think it could be meaningful to society. And I really want to take this through 2017 and beyond. So yeah, if you also have any suggestions for 2017, ways I can improve my channel or content that you would like to see covered, I would love to listen to those as well. So thank you very much, and I will see you in 2017. Bye.